Second Temple times, where they would come across from over the Jordan side at that time, and you know, obviously this has granite storerooms there, granary storerooms, or whatever you call it. But this is what that thing looked like, and so that's the only thing we can lay claim to. They never found that, and later on they did go look at it. The Israelis always ran after everything we did, which was really depressing. We did the first radar ground scan, then they ran and did that. And you know, if they had an original idea themselves, I wouldn't mind, but they always run and copy, then claim credit for it. In any case, they did find pottery here from the Second Temple period. We knew that because we were following the pottery trail. But then they actually found coins from year 2, year 3, I think year 4 of the revolt against Rome. So it was surely being used at that time as a lookout. So we were quite pleased at that. So that's why I put it in my book. I said, the heck, no one else gives it credit. We'll take the credit ourselves. Okay, so the parallels to this from Cave 4, the Cave 4 fragments were never seen by anyone. Now, if you look at Vermesh's book, he's got it all in there. If you look at his first book, he doesn't have anything in there. Well, it's thanks to us that he has those things in his book, not to crow too much, but suddenly you've got all the parallel fragments in there of the Damascus document, not in the first translation, but in the stuff he puts afterwards, and that's what all the translators do now. They put all the parallel fragments in, but you'll see that's after 1992. He didn't have access to those things until we opened it up and got all the pictures out there. And he would have been sued if he put it in there too. So that was what the whole thing was about. But this is the Cairo Damascus document, and why we're using the Cairo one is still clearly the best. It turned out that there are some pages that are before this. This is not the beginning of and the reason we know that is that if you know a Hebrew manuscript, as I was trying to explain to you, here's a Hebrew manuscript, here's the stitching, right? So it's in columns. Here's a column, here's a column, here's a column, here's a column. Then here's more columns, here's more columns, here's more columns, stitching, etc. It rolls this way. Well, it turns out that there's at least, this is the material that we have starting in this book, but there are fragments which show in the same piece of material a column before that. I put pictures of that in this book here to show that there's actually a column before that. Let me see. I tried to put as much stuff as I could in this book here. For instance, this is the community rule here, which is from Cave 1 here. If you ever get this book, you can look at that. And this is the Habakkuk commentary here. Some of the most important passages, I think column 7 to 8, which is really wildly important. Let's see. More community rule stuff there. Let's see. Nahum Pesher here. I put a piece of oil. It's just as good as the scroll exhibit down there. This is the Messianic fragment we found. Very important. I have it down there. This is that testimony I was reading you last time, I think. The Messianic testimony. And so on. And the Florilegium, really important document we're going to look at. And here it is. So this is the last column of the Damascus document. How do we know? Because here's the column. This is the last column, not the first. And here's blank on the end. And this is not in our document. So this is parallels to column 20 of manuscript B in the Cairo Geniza, showing that manuscript B was also known among the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's why I put all these pictures in there. But, you know, since nobody reads it, it's no big deal. This below is the Nahum Pesher that we're going to do. Really important. Here, Nahum Pesher. And let's see. Where is the Damascus document first column? Psalm 37, Pesher here. Let me see, where is the first column? This is a parallel from K4 to column 6, where the going out to the land of Damascus is talked about. These are some parallels from K4. But here it is. So this is the first column here of the Cairo Geniza. And this is the first column here with the same material, but I think it starts somewhere down in here. And there's also material over on that side. And there's a second document which has the same thing. And the Cairo Geniza, the Qumran K4 material has material preceding and instructing the sons of light to keep away from the paths or ways of pollution. The sons of light should keep away from the paths of pollution. So tried to put all that in that book so that they would be significant pictures. Remember, if you know your gospel in the book of Acts, chapter 15, end of the so-called Jerusalem Council, James tells Paul, you can do this teaching to the Gentiles overseas should you want, and so on, you know. At least that's what Acts is presenting and is saying. I have a lot to say about that particular speech that he gives, because he uses Dead Sea Scroll language in a weird way in that speech, particularly the word visits. God visited the nations to take out a people for himself. In this document, the Damascus document, we're going to have God visiting. I don't have time to go through the book of Acts and find you that speech, but the word visit is the important thing there. In any case, at the end of the conference, James is portrayed as, I rule, James speaking. First James is already dead, so it's not the first James, the brother of Zebedee, or son of Zebedee, brother of John. It's James, the brother of Jesus. I rule that, you know, you can do this, but they must keep away from either the pollutions of the idols or things sacrificed to idols. Two different versions of it. He repeats it 3 times in Acts, twice in 15 and once in Acts 21. Keep away from things sacrificed to idols, strangled things, fornication, and blood. And blood. That's so important. Keep away from blood. Because we'll see it's very important to the Damascus.